Good evening, and good group here. Thank you all for coming. And I guess what we can start with then is the minutes from the March meeting. Everybody should have gotten a copy of that last week. Did anybody see any corrections, additions, or anything to those meetings? Okay. There's a lot of stuff on there, but that was good. Doing a good job, Sarah.
Yeah.
Could I have a motion to accept the meeting, minutes?
I make a motion.
I got a second? If you know, second. Okay, those who approve, all those in favor, say aye.
I'll abstain.
Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, then, we're on the financial report. Treasury report.
Hopefully everybody had a chance to at least look at the email cover, or if they didn't have a chance to look at sorry, that's okay. The rest of it, but, I think the big highlight for me was the fact that we got $2,700 from the TV bank. Because I was kind of sweating that, even though we had just budgeted $1,000 into our budget, to get that amount. Christine, who works like floating customer service, is going to work on figuring out kind of what we need for next year. But since we lose people and gain people, I would say we just continue to put it out on social media, and when people come in here to say, if you're new, especially if they're new cardholders, new to the area, are they going to bank at TD Bank?
We do have to.
Yeah. So I think if we just keep doing that, and we'll just wait and see how the dust settles for next year. But that was a nice surprise, and also getting the $10,000 second grant for the sidewalk. So basically, it's covered everything we had spent for the sidewalk, and we still get lots of compliments how fabulous the front of the library is. It made a big improvement, both visually, but also just functionality wise. I think it did a really good job. If there's no questions, other questions about the treasurer's report, those two monies.
So that we received the $10,000 check too for.
Correct.
Yes, yeah. So that's great.
Yeah, this is kind of a slow time of year for us as far as either getting money or expenses. And the last several years have been much more animated in the fact that we've been doing a lot of construction. So now that we're not, we just have basically our normal.
It's just boring.
Which is kind of nice. So maybe we can build up a coffers.
That would be good. Okay.
Yeah.
And have you heard any feedback from people in town, like why the word came in $4,000 less on our fuel letter this year? Any sense of that?
Oh, you mean like, that people knew that we did it, or?
No, that why people didn't contribute. Any talk, like, I didn't send.
I've not heard
I haven't,
one
anybody
day.
heard from me?
I mean, you have several things. It was late. It kind of got lost in the Christmas shuffle. Financially, things are more expensive, so maybe people felt a little bit differently. I mean, one thing, and I don't know how to qualify it at this point, is the makeup of our home ownership has changed in town. And there's more like Airbnb owners versus community members. So although I know the town really promotes the library as part of our community and what we do, other people appreciate that. And I do kind of go through the role when I look at it, and there's a lot more businesses with Bolton Landing property hoo-ha as a name versus somebody. Yeah. So I think there's so many variables this year with what happened that who knows? I think it's a dark word, but as I said before, I think if we start on the letter earlier and we figure out a target date and work backwards, because we can get the body parts for the mailing, we can get labels and envelopes and all of that. And if we decide to do it in-house and have a stuffing party, then that may, at least it gives you more control of the date that's set down.
It's got a big box.
We want some help.
We need on that.
So to answer your question, Dusty, I don't.
Fair enough.
And I think this year we're very much committed. I think we had the letter in time, but I think it took a long time for the people who stuffing. So I think we'll do that here. We'll have a stuffing party one night. We'll all come, you know, have a beverage, stuff the envelope and have some laughs and, you know, Christmas music or whatever. And we'll do it and try to literally put it in the mail so it comes on Giving Tuesday, because we really think that appeal where it came on Giving Tuesday really has big
Or the
difference.
day before, but
Or
somewhere.
the day before, somewhere.
But I mean, it's
People
over
in that.
2,400 envelopes, so you might not get it done, depending on how many people you have here, you know, but
That's how many there are.
that's about, yeah, what it is, we can pick up later.
And there's no way of paring that list down based on giving.
I go back every year and I kind of look to see, and then I do get notes from people that say, please don't send me another solicitation. I have a list and then I pull their label off, and then some people change the address. I want it to go here instead of there because we've got a couple of those. So
Right.
it takes a little prep to kind of go through the list, but
Mhm.
once you're done with it, you send it out and we have a relatively good return rate for what we send out and how much it costs us based on what those industry standards are for this type of solicitation. So we've had to do pretty well with that.
Doesn't the town have a folder stuffer? Still a folder stuffing machine? I'm sorry, I'm here, but, because we do in Queensbury.
I
mean, I'm sure they would, I could check that, if you'd like me to. I mean, you don't have the stuff, but you got folder and stuff.
So what do? You have pages in there and it just goes, and it folds it and puts it in.
Well,
What's in the envelope?
we have the ability, I mean, it didn't cost us anything really much extra. Glens Falls Printing did a really good job of folding them. And, you know, that was part of the cost of it. So they did a tri-fold. So it would have to be both the letter and the return envelope that would have to go in. So I don't know if they have it or not.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we're up to the director's report, director's progress.
There was not a lot of changes. It looked like our circulation went down. So I don't think that's a big concern. We're still registering new patrons. And I also included, you know, how much we've added. It's a little less than last time. But Sarah and I are doing, actually it's me. Drastic weeding, things that we had put off, sections, areas of the library that we had put off. And it just looks so much better. And there's more room, so new things that we're getting a bit better. It's not really overcrowded. And then with the events we've had in the past month, I didn't include the coffee hour, which the first one I think you already knew was very well attended. There was about 18, I think. The one for April, there was about 8, but it was still lovely. Everybody really enjoys it. We just sit around and chat. What?
We have somebody
Waiting for a Zoom.
Hang on.
Sorry, distracting.
Hello, I'm waiting in the Zoom link.
Sorry, Jane.
Left her outside.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I probably left my phone.
So I heard him, she's in the background. I don't know.
Yeah.
She probably just did it.
Yeah, I think I left it.
Oop.
Sorry, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Hi,
We took over you earlier. Sorry.
that's okay. I was waiting. It's all good.
So we're just doing the director's report and I think we're still going, right?
There was, and I sent you the community report that Sal's puts together, and it's really beautiful, and we're really a busy library. We have a family that it's a father and mother and a little boy who tell the mother that she goes down the dark hole. Like she wanted her son to know about the eclipse. So she I think she must have ordered like 15 different books about the eclipse. And then right now they do Paw Patrol, and so there's always stacks of books on hold for them. So she saw the community report up there and she said, your circulation went up by 30%. She said, I think that was us. We did it, not you. So this report is on our library's website, and if Sarah wants, she can add it to social media too.
Did we lose her?
She turned her video off. Janie, you're still there, right?
Yeah, I'm here. We're being recorded. I don't need to have my face,
Oh, okay, we didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
I'm hanging-
That's all I have.
You started to say about the coffee hour.
It's just, the last one was 8
Oh,
people.
okay.
They all seem to really enjoy it. 8 was easier than 18 because the back room echoes a little. So, one of the women, she has brought something every week, so I'm gonna cut back on what I get from Stewart's and Toss, even though that's free. It's really a nice little get together.
That's good.
And there's people that I already know and care about, so it's nice. I'm glad Sarah thought of it.
Do you think it went down in number for any particular reason? Just who was available, but everybody wanted to see what was going
There
on.
was a snowstorm that week.
Ah, okay,
They got a lot.
okay. We'll see. Yeah, I'm just thinking, how many cups should I?
Ah,
Ah,
couldn't help.
okay. I'll bring plenty. Okay. All right, so, did anybody have any questions on the social media report that Sarah sent out? And if not, then I'll ask for a motion to accept the director's report.
Who first?
Mary.
Mary and. Mary. All right, so that brings us to the committee reports. The executive team did not have a meeting, so we're down to the financial. I guess we really already talked about the appeal letter, so we could talk a little bit about the cyber insurance. So this week there was a lot of talk about that again. And Megan had reached out to Michelle at Sal's.
So I emailed, first I had emailed Sarah Dallas. And then when I was talking with Michelle Pollock, she suggested that we email Michelle Largito, who is the head of IT of the JA project, the Joint Automation Project. And at the same time, I sent out an email that goes to all of the directors to see what they had done. And we got a lot of response back. Some libraries that went ahead with it, other libraries that did not. And then yesterday there was an email from Michelle Largito saying that she was definitely going to, her father died last weekend, so she was busy, and she definitely will meet with you just to discuss all of the issues and why, I mean, they do highly recommend that we have cybersecurity.
And that Michelle Largito is an employee of Sal's. right?
Yes. Actually, now there's a difference, she's an employee of the Joint Automation. It's a separate entity of Sal.
Okay. And one of the other insurance companies they mentioned was Cowbell. So I sent out an inquiry to them to ask if they would give us information and possibly a quote. So at least we'd have a second price so that we could see if they can give us the same kind of coverage, less expensive than the $1,800 that's per year. 1,800 is what was quoted from the upstate, not upstate. So.
Not from Kev, that's was Kevin's agency?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
I didn't know if they had actually been this close.
Yeah.
So you should be able to get 60% of that based on what's in that for comparable size businesses. So
You think so?
that's my expectation, but that was not specifically provided.
Okay. But they, at least one library said they went with Cowbell because it was cheaper.
I think the cowbell one was $400. There was,
It was only 400 for the whole year?
I think so. The Salem Library, I'm not sure which one they used, but theirs was $16.50, and then Harry was $2,500.
How much bigger though?
You have to make sure you're comparing apples to apples.
Absolutely.
Because I know, what's the deductible, because some of the ones I looked at had $10,000 deductible, now it's $5,000. So that's, yeah.
After you make that up in company. Right? So if instead of spending $1,500 a year, spend $500 a year, if you have one incident in 5 years, you can go out for the deductible. And we're assuming we wouldn't have that many incidents. We're not assuming.
Well, I think the
One of the things going
expense,
up is that it is a lot more time effective and cost effective for people that are doing this to target smaller organizations. Now, we don't really have much information that's of a level useful, but it's much more effective for them to say, pick 100 very small organizations that are poorly protected, and gather information from those and spend what are sometimes months to go through a larger organization to get the same information. And so that's part of what you're starting to see and why it's becoming a concern for small organizations like this. On the other side of that, though, if we're not holding financial information, that kind of limits our risk to some extent, but we do still have potentially some other personal identifiable information. So you may want to go down that road.
I'm curious what information we do out there.
That's what
would be that.
We do social security number or?
We
no,
Yeah,
They
so
use,
it's name and
um,
date of birth.
when we issue library cards, but all of that information is protected through Polaris. That is the
Okay.
program we use, but we take birthdays and an ID number, and they are asking that we use. You're shaking your head.
I am, but you should.
So they do want us to use a driver's license because that is a unique number for everyone. The only time that's an issue is when children get cards, and I use the parent's ID anyway, so.
Because I know that was, I don't know if anybody's been following this with the Schenectady Public Library. That was their concern, that the driver's license is the only unique identifier on there, because date of birth doesn't, last names, whatever, so they would use, that's why they capture that New York State driver's license. Because if you look at, I asked Megan to show me what the Polaris screen looked like for setting up a customer, a client, to just say, okay, what is here? What is the date of birth and it is the driver's license, so.
It also, it is their phone numbers, their email
Yeah.
addresses, their
Address.
Most of that's.
birth dates, school districts, all of that stuff is in there. But Sal's is 100% certain that that information is. They don't seem to have any fears about that. And I am inclined to take it at their word. Because they certainly have proved themselves in the past. I think.
Well, I think Will brought this up last month, but if the only personal data of that sort is stored in Polaris, which is a software program by Sal's, we have no control over that, which means we might not have liability, but we need to confirm that.
Yeah, we're not saving any backups locally or anything.
We shredded everything a couple days ago. So there's nothing on hand on paper, I don't think, is there, Megan, other than our personnel files, you and I?
Right, Sarah and I have talked about, because Sal's has said in the past that we are supposed to have paper applications, for people to fill out. But that seems a waste of paper if I'm going to have somebody fill out an application, put the information in the computer, and then I have to read it. So we are going to have applications available, should somebody be in a hurry, they can take it home with them, fill it out and bring it back. Otherwise, we're just gonna take their information verbally and enter it into the Polaris. But all of the applications have been shredded.
Well, that's kind of why we wanted to talk to Sal's, because we don't want to just get it because they say we need to get it. We want to know why, because that's
Why do we
money we could
protect it,
use,
right?
that's money we could use for programming and personnel and a lot of things, so.
A lot of books to sell.
Yes, yes, yeah.
And we'll have deductibility probably.
Mhm.
So,
It just becomes another part of the liability insurance.
Right.
But even if, for example, the concerns, let's say driver's license, maybe we don't document the entire driver's license, we document the last 5 digits of the driver's
You
license.
can't.
You can't do that.
It doesn't, it has to, it tells you it's a 9-digit or a 10, whatever.
That again comes down from Sal's and Polaris, we don't have that access.
But that's still in place as well.
Yeah. The only thing on your particular computer that only has partial information is like the volunteer list that has people's names, phone numbers, and
Oh, okay, that is.
and you're storing that there. right?
Yes,
It's
but we
someplace.
do, that is on my computer.
One thing to check would be that we're not storing a local copy of it. When we view those pages, the cache can sometimes save a copy of that, and so we might have to have some sort of policy in place to make sure that we're clearing that on a regular basis. So
Okay.
that becomes a non-issue there.
Okay.
So we're still working.
I think now that
Everybody.
my advice to just go to, because Michelle's last email to me was that she said, I'm going to be responding about your board meeting soon, but wanted to let you know. Because I knew about that.
Okay.
So she will be getting in touch with that.
Okay. All right, policies and procedures, we're all caught up now. Michelle did a great job of getting it all together. And so we just needed to update our hard copy and our electronic copy, which you guys already got done, so that's great. And then for the long range plan.
I'm sorry. I did mention last week about the town, or last month about the town survey. They did get back to me. He said I could share it with the trustees, so I did want to put it into the agenda to have it on electronically or whatever. So I did make some copies if people want to look at it. I don't think it really is anything that's library, earth shattering or whatever, that it could be online, but being as he said, I could share it with the trustees. They didn't want to take that chance. The other thing is that Dusty and I met with Jane, talked with Jane, and we started with the long range plan. There is our long range plan on our website. And there's also a section in the handbook about long range planning. So what we're trying to do is anonymously get some information from trustees. I'm gonna put an envelope in that mail thing. You can write one word, you can write a book, you can, within the next 2 weeks, drop it in the envelope, that'll be up there.
Okay.
This way you can just put down whatever your thoughts are, positive, negative, whatever. And some ideas for what you would like to see for the future. What we're hoping to do then is try to take a look at what we have. How can we fine tune it in from the long range plan, come up with a strategic plan, because most libraries post their strategic. What are their goals of their long range plan that are going to come to fruition, and who's going to be responsible? So that's our goal.
Can we, instead of just getting us, which this is a great idea, can we send like a survey maybe out to our?
We wanted to start with just us. We did, yeah. We
Okay.
didn't say that we're not gonna go further with this, whatever. But we
Okay.
just wanted to get an idea from our
Great.
trustees, what would you like to see us, hope for the future, you know? What do you, well, so just like that. And again, you can put as much as you want, you can put it in an envelope, seal it, so it's anonymous, nobody knows. That's fine, we want an honest opinion, that's what we're looking for. And again, if you could put it in the envelope, that'll be behind Megan's desk sometime within the next 2 weeks, so hopefully we can meet before the next meeting to get some idea of where we're heading with this. But we encourage you to look at our long range plan online and to look at the handbook about what should be in a long range plan, so it gives you some idea if you're having, it might help you with some of your answers.
By the handbook, you mean
The trustee handbook.
trustee handbook? Oh, that trustee.
Yes. So, any questions on that? We're trying.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, fundraising. Okay, we know about the magnets. If anybody wants to buy some, they're $10 each. We have them on sale, and I believe they're behind the desk if anybody
Yeah,
wants
yeah,
to
you
get
grab 'em.
any.
Have you
And,
seen them?
Yeah. Well, oh, yes, you don't get this.
if you want to get it for your car, so you can start advertising I'll buy two tonight, I got $20. So, and the next thing is bags, so, drum roll.
Oh, that looks nice.
Very
nice.
Beautiful. Very nice.
Very nice.
Well, we can talk about it. So they were very generous. They gave us a discount of, a little over 10%, which is awesome. So I think the bags are around $11-ish. So, we can decide which one. If we want to make a profit or we just want to break even. So it's 15, I would say, 12,
I think
12 or 15.
I would definitely.
I would pay
15.
15%.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're nice and big.
Yeah.
And if I only ordered 25, they should be coming soon. And if we decide that we want to change the model, we can do, they have 100 different sizes, and it just has to be canvas in order for our 4 colors to actually.
If we change the size, we don't have to pay for the screen again, do we?
Nope.
Very good.
No, we can switch it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
the
like
process
that
was a little
size.
complicated, but they're very easy to work with.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah, I think that's a little bigger than some of, but you think it's wider? than a lot
Yeah,
of
this is a
the-
big bag.
Yeah.
This is a big bag. So we could definitely, they have narrow ones, they have ones that have with a base to them, so they could sit. So we have a ton of options. I just figured we could see how well we do selling these, and then we can change up.
But I think that logo's great, and I'm really glad we're getting this logo out into the public. So
Can
that's,
I make a suggestion about the magnet?
sure.
One, just somebody who knows stuff said, this is not gonna stay on your card. That's just an aside,
Okay.
but he did, a number of people have talked about, what the magnet is for. And one of the things I think it would be for is like a refrigerator magnet with, but there's no information. There's not even like the hours, which would be too long, but like you included on the mugs, it has the phone number. I mean,
If we redo it, then we'll definitely
that's what
add
Eddie would
the
say.
logo, I mean, not the website and the
Right.
phone number.
I think that
Because
would be
we
great.
realized that afterwards, that's why.
Okay. Just- And is $10 really the price you're going with?
Well, only because we paid $580 for them. I know.
You just want to recoup your money, so if you
Yes.
paid $5, if you charge $5, you basically.
It just 10 seems a lot,
Okay.
especially when there are magnets in town,
Yes.
that stores are selling and they're.
Cover the cost.
Yeah. Well, if we say 6, it's so hard to get, I mean, come up with that extra dollar. Should we just say 5 and take the loss?
We'll compute what the difference is of the
Yeah.
variation of colors.
Yes, just so we don't, just so the treasurer doesn't feel
Well,
so
no,
much
these
about
are idiots, we're gonna torture the circulation desk.
So.
I'm gonna hurt my head.
Yeah, and I just calculated detail, it was $11.35 each.
Right. So 15. Yeah.
Elizabeth, if we order another set of bags, will they be even less because we've already paid for the setup costs of the, okay,
No, I had to pay separately for the setup costs.
gotcha. Okay.
So they're just, that cost was just the cost of the bag.
Oh, yeah,
The
so
bag
the
is
setup,
printing, not the set.
if we add the setup to that, then it would probably.
Right, so and the setup, I just. But
Okay. Great job, thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, on to the Friends Party. We're having a meeting tomorrow night with the Friends. I'm gonna talk to the other ladies that are involved in the Friends Committee to get ready for this meeting. The idea of the meeting is to try to put together a Friends group and also get a group of volunteers, hopefully that night, to sign up for all the events we have this summer. So we're asking those from, like Michelle and I will put together a list of what's needed for the farmer's market, the book club. If you and Sue could give me a list of who you're gonna need, what days, and kind of what they'll need to do on those days. And for any of the, we'll sign up people for setup for any of the speakers, all of the things that we're gonna need help with. Hopefully, describe what they'd be involved in, have them sign up that night. And then I'm also gonna ask a friends volunteer to call the day before, or the week before. We have to decide when, just to remind people, because I think that's part of the problem too, is you sign up and you forget, so a text reminder. Just like the dentist is a great, or a haircut is a, great way to make sure people, show up and help us out. So, hopefully, if any of you guys want to come that night and help and mingle, mix, and that would be great. That's May 9th, and that's here at the library on the Thursday night when we're open a little later. And I think that we have it for 6 o'clock. I forgot to, I don't have that right for me. I think it's like 6 o'clock. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, it's on the website.
Yeah, it's on the website. And can we also send that invitation, put it on social media, like that invitation that Eileen made out, and put that on Facebook or Instagram?
It's on everywhere.
It is.
The
Okay, that's
graphic?
good. The graphic,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
Oh, okay.
everywhere, and it's in the newsletter, and
Okay.
it's under the programs and info section on the website too.
Oh,
It's been up
great.
for a while. Yep.
Terrific.
There was someone who signed up to be a volunteer, Ann Kenna, but she is not going to be here for your meeting.
Yes, I do. Almost everybody that signed up so far as a volunteer can't make it to the meeting. So that's why I want you guys to all come. I mean, I didn't really think about this, but a lot of people don't, that are seasonal people, do come a little bit later in May. So that seems to be the case with several of those people. Either that or Thursday nights aren't good. So, but it's still, we've got a couple weeks till then, so hopefully we'll get more of a group. The plant sale, Carla's doing her plant sale. It's gonna be from 9 to 3. She did want me to mention to you guys, I think a lot of the advertisements have said 10 to 3, but she actually wants to do it 9 to 3. And it is the 25th of May. And she's looking for volunteers for that date too. It's another thing I'll look for. But if anybody wants to help out that day, she said I could have one person come every 2 hours, like 9 to 11, 11 to 1, 1 to 3. So if anybody's interested in helping, I think she's setting up right out here in the front lawn, right?
Did she say how she's getting the plants down?
I tried to tell her that we would help with that too, but she said, oh no, I have that taken care of.
Oh, because I know there's a couple people I know that do that.
Yeah,
Need a
she-
Pickup truck that kind of.
She mentioned a couple
Okay.
names of people that were helping
Okay.
with that. But she's told me if she does need help, she will reach out.
Okay.
So. But,
Okay, you need to get the tables.
yes, well, we purchased a few more tables
This is
this
one.
past week. Oh, that's one of them already, good. And, yes, so, you know what, I don't think she thought about, she probably hadn't thought
She
about
may
it yet.
just want to put them all on the ground, but.
Mhm. The day before to help, so.
Or at least.
Oh, does she usually bring the plants the day before too? Or
No,
does she
they
bring
didn't.
them that day?
The last time we did it like that.
Okay, I'll check with her. We'll tell you before then.
So the plant sale's actually gonna be from 9 to 3. Does she want us here earlier to help her set up? Or
That's what we were just talking
Okay,
about.
all right.
I didn't get an earlier time,
Okay.
but I would think she would need help getting loaded
Yeah.
off the truck
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, I'll check with her again, but if anybody's interested in helping, shoot me a text and I'll let her know what you're available for. Okay, so we're on to buildings and grounds. So, we did put in a grant for finishing up that north side garden there. We haven't heard yet about getting that one. And also have a grant in for the generator cover and duct repair. And then the carpet for the children's area, we have to remind the gentleman who's supposed to cut that down because he still hasn't been by to do that yet. The signs for the parking area, we're not gonna order those until the parking lot, they're gonna smooth out. They're supposed to smooth out our parking area, put new lines in, and then Carla's gonna order the new signs. And she's in the process of getting any prices for getting the windows done inside and out. anybody knows of a good window company, because the two companies she has are out of Saratoga and Cohoes. If anybody knows anybody local who's has a window cleaning company, you could let us know. That would be very much appreciated. Okay, because we want to get free quotes. Okay, yes. That's the, that last snowstorm again. They dumped something?
Oh, it's from the plow.
It's from the plow. The plows, when they pushed the snow, made a big pile of dirt. They did it, and then we fixed it, and then they did it again with that snow that we just had last time. So that was from the plowing.
Next year you mark that, like, so that they don't.
They can flower it, but
Just part of what happened, the snow was so heavy, it moved the whole snow pile and shoved it up, because a lot of people had the same problem on their properties. It just, whatever was in front of it, got shoved up.
But you know, that what was under it wasn't frozen.
Right, so that was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But, yeah, but they are aware of it, unfortunately. So, book sale, and any report, Miriam, for the book sale?
Still sorting, what Sue and I talked about is there's so many kids books this year, and there's a lot of, middle school 6 through 8. So we thought we'd get in touch with school librarians so they can specifically talk to teachers, because we have a lot of multiple copies, so maybe that Thursday night, especially if you get a teacher, might want to get some of these books, so.
That's a great
That's what we
idea.
thought, and if
Market.
Jen has probably in touch with her and Denise Morrisburg here and just see if they can, either at faculty meeting, or just, make sure the teachers know this. That would be good.
I would think too, is, I mean, do teachers have budgets to do that, or they
Yeah,
come and
that's
buy it
what I'm saying.
themselves?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if we,
It'd be nice if there was a budget. But it'd be nice.
I would think if somebody proves they're a teacher and they're buying something for their students.
We've done it before, teachers show up and they're young and they're just giving them.
Because there's something.
It's an investment.
Yes, and my colleagues will.
Yeah, no, I'm serious, because we've done that a lot. It's just, if you're a teacher and I don't think people can come scanning about books. So
Right,
if you're a teacher and you need kids' books
Yeah,
and.
because people aren't gonna buy multiple copies.
It's gonna
but if
be-
someone gets 6 in the reading group, and
Yes.
there's plenty of multiple
Right,
copies,
right.
which we have.
That's what I'm saying, that we discount them or not charge teachers, and then if they prove they're a teacher. Yeah, that's what I mean.
You never know.
Yes.
I think,
Yeah, yes.
I think it was very.
Well, they pay for the books, but not that extra 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do, so
Yeah.
Christmas, yeah, so we have nature books and those books, yeah. And then nature and animals, and then we have 2 boxes of Christmas books. Doing that sale, so yeah, we have one.
We have to think of another holiday to give them.
I know.
They were more excited about it.
Yeah, they really were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very excited about
Get to
that.
keep.
Yeah. Especially when Megan had, I don't know who brought in the books with, it was the letters of the alphabet, all the kids' names started with that letter, they were thrilled to get that
Right.
book, and then they came
Yeah,
to
yeah.
ask, can I have an A? Yeah, that was fun.
It's fun. Very good. All right, then, grants, any additional information, Sarah or Dean?
Sal's approved the $5,000 challenge grant for the generator
Oh,
cover.
they did.
They did,
Oh,
that
wonderful.
just happened
Mhm.
a couple days ago, so that's done. And I think Michelle said we got the ALA grant number 2 check before in the treasurer's report. We're waiting to hear from Adirondack Foundation. They've announced the first round of grant awardees. So I thought we were passed over, but Jane pointed out that they are gonna be announcing more in the future, so we're not out of the running yet with it. Keep your fingers crossed.
You and Jane just worked so well together. As she was doing this.
Yeah, you said it.
It's right above your head, like in the thought book.
Connection. And then we'll see how we do with all that. And we still have the Ticonderoga company in our back pocket to like apply to if other things fall through. We have another place we can try for money, a new place, which could be good to check out.
Yeah, Jane found that one, and that one, Silvamo has rolling application deadlines, so we don't have to get a grant in by any certain date. We can apply anytime.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That's the, Dollar General.
Yeah, that was just on our radar. We didn't pull anything together in time to do that one. That was done in March. I can
Okay.
check and see. Where's another one? Adirondack is pending, and we did get last fall, the Charles R. Wood one that Jane had done for 2,500 for children's literacy. That was awarded in November.
So I can get in touch with, and it's close to the, having the books for the school. Is there enough money to get a book for every kid up here? Yes. Okay, and I will get in touch with them this week. It's, Northshire.
Yeah, between that and the 750 from Stewart, so.
Okay.
that should-
Yeah.
The 750, we normally save that, I mean, in prior years, it's gone to the Halloween books.
Oh, okay.
And it's
For the after
it's
school.
probably a little bit more money, but the 2,500 should work. and
Yeah.
then we'll see where we wind up with other money that comes in. But you're good for the birthday program.
I will get on.
Cool. Yay, books for kids before their summer break.
Grantors, grantees. Okay, personnel, nothing new with that. Sunshine Committee, do we have anybody that needs thank you cards? Did you hand everything over to Mary? You have it here? Okay.
Send a thank you to, Mrs. St. Omar, what's your first name?
Cindy.
Cindy, yes.
Oh, great. Oh, okay, great, great. And then I told, in the minutes, we mentioned that we were gonna send a thank you to John for considering us for that home tour, even though we didn't get to do it. Did we send one of those out?
Did I misunderstand? I thought you were going to send it out.
I don't have it, okay. I guess I need maybe, or I misunderstood. If you wanna give me a card, I could do that.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yeah, or, I mean, we can too.
Yeah, we'll figure it
Okay.
out. Okay. Okay, nothing new to, we'll be getting ready for the farmer's market, lining up our volunteers, and right now we have to sell the magnets, the bags. We have, the baskets are gonna be put together. I know, she had spoken to the woman who does our baskets, and we have the fiber arts group blanket. Those are the things that we have to raffle. So those are the items that we have so far, in addition to giving out probably journals and pens for all of the kids, although we are still in the market for seeing if there's anything else that we would want to give other than a journal. So if anybody has any good ideas of things to give out as a representative from the library, unless we have so many kids' books to be able to give books away. I mean.
Well, you've got August.
We're gonna do the bingo card too, right? We're gonna have a
Right.
farmer's
Yeah, we
market.
could always-
Yeah, and I think we're gonna talk about that.
Oh, really?
She did? Oh,
Yes,
she's got a hard time
yeah,
doing a
yeah.
basket. Oh,
Because
no.
that's who I saw today, and she hasn't been around, so but she's in the.
She's got her.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but she said, I didn't forget about it. She goes,
Okay.
I'm all over it.
Terry's gonna get in touch with her aunt. Team, the one I spoke to about earlier, who did the coloring book.
Oh, okay.
So Terry's gonna get in touch with her and see if she still has it.
Oh, okay. Great. Right, and,
Is there any possibility if we do approve the journals to go with the journals again, then instead of handing them out at the farmer's market, because you have a lot of stuff already that you're gonna be hauling over there, that we could give it to the librarians to hand out to people that actually come in the library, the young kids especially. And maybe even the bingo cards or.
Well, the
We
bingo
don't
card-
get them, I mean, we get children here, but not nearly the number that come.
Yeah.
I thought having them at the farmer's market, was wonderful.
The only thing the couple of times I was there, it was all kids from out of here. They were all tourists. But I still think it's good promotion just for libraries in general. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them like the bingo cards, they say, even if they're more kids,
My granddaughter.
they could do it if they're home, you know, like, yeah, I don't know, I liked it too. I do like it.
See, I don't think there were a lot of tourist kids because I was there every Friday. And I knew most of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Carrie's niece, her grandchildren were
Oh, there
there.
was a lot of town kids there. But, yeah.
And they loved,
Different kids' eyes, so, yeah.
they
Yeah,
loved.
But I still like
Yeah.
it. I still like the idea. But that's me. I like the idea. It is getting them into the library. We've been spoiled with the shelves, everything over. Yeah, there's a lot. And just so people know that if you're on the first shift or whatever. It's a lot, it is a lot to take home. Yeah, we don't have Eric issue. Yeah.
We got pretty good at loading my car.
The journal
Take
they
care
have,
of them.
you know, they have to draw a picture and make a certain, they could, if they're around us, you know, come to the library and pick a time to read those out loud. So, you know, instead of that. Yeah.
Or bring their picture in and we'll take a photo of it and put it up on our website or Facebook page to say artwork in the library journal by, you know, Susie J or.
Yeah.
So they'd be anonymous and we could take a photo of the kid in their picture.
You're gonna
or
have
just
to
a-
talk to parents or, all right, so so here's the cop thing coming in, okay? A lot of people don't like putting their children
Right.
on Facebook now and pictures and things like that, so I can see maybe posting, hanging
Yeah,
all over
just
the
the
library
artwork.
and stuff, yeah, the artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I hesitate with that.
Yeah,
We can ask the parent first.
You
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
but I still say that maybe we should get the insurance. If we do start doing this, no,
No, I'm not.
it's a big, yeah, no, it's a big thing. with
Bambi,
children.
when Bambi,
Normally they need to sign consent.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
so when we had the camps, when we did the story glory last year, it was through the camp. And, Michelle Huck had already had all of the signed forms. And so their pictures got to be online. There was one boy who was there whose parents said no. And so we were just careful to make sure it didn't put it up.
and I would ask if any of you are at any events and you take photos like that, if you can take it from the back of the audience, I can post those because there's no faces. So you know, if there are people we don't know and we're not handing out letters of consent, because then you have to keep track of the letters of consent.
Right.
We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But if you can take a picture from the back, so you highlight the entertainer or the presenter, that way none of the kids are facing you and we can get good mileage out of that for social media posts and keep the kids anonymous.
Right, so. Okay, could I have someone make a motion to accept the committee reports, please? Okay, Terry and
I'll second.
Lynn second?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So that brings us down to unfinished business. We talked about the rug already. And we do have an event coming up on May 20th. And anybody here on the board that would like to go to that Sal's dinner, let Megan know.
The reservation has to be in by, I think, May 3rd. It's at Fort William Henry, so that's much easier to get to. They're interesting. So just let me know. I think there's 3 choices for the food.
All right, and we talked about the volunteer party, the renewal of the book list. Have we decided to go ahead of that with 20% discount, or is that something we need to vote on?
I guess I need you to vote on it, I guess.
It's $160 with a 20% discount as former grantees. It's normally $200
Okay.
for a year.
Does everybody know what the book rag magazine is?
I left a couple copies out there for you.
Well, actually, it's called the Book This Reader, and
It's a book review source.
so, and during the summertime, it is very well read and taken out. We get 25 copies a month. And then people can also sign up and get it online too, I think. So, even if they don't, come in to get it, they can continue to get it online. So if you want to pass those down. So it's another, another value to our community. So, should we take a vote then for that? So any questions before we take it to vote? Okay, then, all those in favor to continue the subscription to the book reader, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? So moved.
Will they invoice you or do you need to send them a check? How does that work?
I have a link for, as grant recipients, we click the link and then we can input credit card info.
Okay, all right.
If that's okay, we can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, please.
Oh, and the next thing is Pomeroy Foundation, but I think you did say something about that in the
Yes.
report.
You won't find it on their website, but when I had tried to submit before, Warren, they do application openings by region, and based on our region, we can start applying July 29th. They're very specific, but there's no link on the website to find that. So July 29th, we'll submit our letter of intent, and the grant submission after that deadline is September 30th. But I have all the materials I gathered for both our primary sources and our secondary sources. We're good on those. So we just have to hit those deadlines and get our paperwork in and keep our fingers crossed. When we get closer, I'll renew that email chain we had around with the suggested wording for the sign. Remember, it had very specific space requirements for each line. So we could kind of come up with a couple of different options we could do. So I'll send that around again for everyone to review and tweak and suggest on.
Do they also look at it, make suggestions?
No,
They don't.
they just said, oh, you're submitting at the wrong time and here's the schedule and
Okay, I wasn't sure if they gave
Yeah.
us feedback based on having done thousands of them.
not yet, but once we submit, they will work with us extensively on that to make suggestions. They do a lot of that.
Oh, okay. All right, then we're on to the training requirements. Just a reminder again that we need 2 hours of,
If we want to answer Will's question, you would ask at the meeting, the last meeting, your training has to be library. And there are any of the book club, the trustee handbook book club ones are recorded. So you could just, but if you have done the sexual harassment training for the school, that you can have, you don't have to do ours again.
I've done that for the town.
Right, you just have to go give me a certificate, and that's very easy, and you can do it as well. But you do have to do it every year.
Yeah, we have to do that.
Yeah.
and if anybody needs the link sent again, let us know.
Yeah, that was the part.
Right.
All right, any other new business that anyone wanted to bring?
I did want to just tell you, discuss a little bit, Sarah is going to be unavailable for about 6 weeks. She is having a medical procedure and her husband is going to go crazy trying to keep her still. So she and I have talked a lot about, how we're going to do this. And she came up with a schedule. I always like to say, you came up with a schedule, but with Tammy Sherman's help, we will be able to keep the library open. It's pretty much the same schedule. The only difference, and I had already talked about this with Linda, was to add an evening hour. It's because in order to give Tammy a full day, I lose hours. So Sarah suggested that on like Tuesday and Thursday, we'd be open until 7. That gives me 35, and that also then I can count in meetings and book club and just that kind of stuff. So that really is kind of the plan right now. If anybody has any suggestions, Tammy's schedule is very specific at the Warrensburg Library, so she would be able to help me at game night, and then she would work all day Wednesday, and those are the only 2 days she can work.
So, we're staying late open on Tuesday so that she gets an 8-hour day.
I just, but if she decides she doesn't want that 8-hour day, then we won't stay open late on Tuesday. I just have to talk to her.
Okay. Right, yeah, because that's the only thing I was confused about is if we have less personnel, why would we be adding hours? I wouldn't want anybody to go over, but we can talk.
Those are definitely doable hours for me.
Okay.
Because if you give me less hours, it's just harder for me to make sure that I get the 40 hours I'm supposed to have.
Right, which I think coming in earlier, staying late any night, because I think it's gonna be without having that extra set of hands here for putting away books and stuff like that, it probably would be good to have a lot of time where people aren't in the library to bother you. Because that's what happens, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a,
Yes,
yes.
but that, if I don't do the Tuesday,
Okay,
it's gonna be about 8 hours extra that I
okay, that's.
have, and that's hard.
Yeah, oh, I agree, as long as it works for you.
Okay.
Um. Communications, was there anything additional on communication?
I just wanted to let you know that I will be working again with Michelle Huck and for her movie night in the park. She had asked about some, did we have some certain DVDs, and we had a few of them, and some I was surprised we didn't have, so I ordered them. It does save the rec department about, they have to pay the licensing fee for every movie. So she said by one movie specifically, it would save her about $500, which I think is great if we can do that.
So in
And
other words, when we give them to her, she doesn't have to pay the licensing fee?
if she comes in and borrows them,
Oh, in the library, really?
So we're a co-sponsor that way?
kind of, sort of. It's our joint, it's working with other organizations.
Yeah.
Cooperation. There is a lot going on with the system library and the Schenectady County Public Library, and it is very long, it's very involved. And instead of trying to explain to you, I don't know if I forwarded you Sarah Dallas's statement that they went to a workshop. I cannot figure out why Schenectady is leaving the system library. They're going to another one, but from some of the tones, I've gotten a sense of irritation and frustration on the Sal's part. Sarah, and one of the things that Schenectady County said that they don't have the full IT coverage going through Sal's. And that we know for a fact isn't true. Sarah has worked, when she works on Saturday, she said she knows specifically 3 times on a Saturday where she called and you leave a message with Sal's or you can send an email and they respond within 20 minutes on a Saturday and fix the problems we're having. So I'm not sure why Schenectady County is saying that they don't have that they're not getting that at Sal's. So it just seems like a very long and complicated situation. And I don't know how much it affects us. But one of the problems is going to be that their cards will no longer be good here. So if you had a Schenectady County Public Library card, you're not going to be able to get interlibrary loan anymore. And your card won't be good in our system. So they're working on trying to figure something out. One example is the Racket Lake Library has a patron who summers in Racket Lake but lives in Schenectady County. So her card is no longer going to be good at Racket Lake.
We probably have a ton of those, some second homes here.
Yeah. So it's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
So if you.
But they would be able to just get another card with us.
If they delete them from Polaris.
Oh,
If they don't get them deleted from our Polaris Sal's software in time, they'll be showing up as a duplicate. This person already has a card. But we can't check a book out for them because they're no longer part of the system. So
Right.
summer's coming up pretty quickly and I don't know if is there a timeline for the Schenectady County's departure?
I haven't heard.
It's gonna get a little messy.
Will Polaris automatically block them? Do they have a way of doing that? That if somebody's not paying attention and they give you the card and you're busy, will Polaris just say no?
Yes, it's something Sal's would have to do.
Right,
but
they would have to do
block
on their end,
call.
just that you
Like
have
a system-wide block, can I do that?
I mean, there is a way to do something. I just don't know if they've gotten to that step yet.
so, we have the upcoming events listed. did you want to speak to any of those? at
I
all?
do, actually, I have to tell you that we have, two more. Bane Fry is a doctor, and she is a dermatologist.
Yes.
And she has a book called Skin Hoax.
Yes, yes.
So she, just because there's a lot going on out in the world with people doing things for their face and skin, and she's saying a lot of those are hoaxes, and so she's gonna do a talk, and that is going to be August 8th. And then today, there was an email from, it was an email going between Bill Gates and our Bill Gates. And
We're not that good.
and Ted, yes, we are. So it was an email between Bill Gates, Ted Caldwell, and a woman named Ginger Kunstler, something like that. She lives in Silver Bay, and she has written a book on the speedboat racing on Lake George. And it's coming out May 24th, and she was asking if there was a place in town where she could do a talk. And Ted said, you need to do it at the library. So she replied that she would love to do it here. And Sarah's going to send her an email tomorrow with the letter and the dates that you have left. And then one other person in town, there's Bernie Russell, who used to own the Hometown Diner. He's also a musician, and he does bluegrass. I think it's more bluegrass. And he is offered to do a concert for us. So we just have to get in touch with him and set that up.
Okay, well, we're shaping up very nicely for the summertime. That's great.
That does really, I think that fills it out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it does, it looks like then we'd have
That's excellent.
3 or 4 for each month.
Yep.
So that's great. Any additional comments? Anybody have any questions, concerns?
I did have something else I wanted to show you.
Okay.
And this is, well, there's actually two things. A couple of months ago, actually, I got an email from this ice cream store in Canada. I'm not sure now where it is, but they have published a cookbook called Great Scoops, and it's a really cool cookbook on different recipes that you can make ice cream, different flavors, different ways to do it. Well, they actually dropped it off today, and they gave me 2 copies of the book. So Sarah had this idea that we put together, maybe do like a ice cream, kind of an ice cream social. And then people that come can put their name in the hat, and we have like all ice cream tastings.
All right.
And then someone could win the copy of the book. And they were just really lovely people, like they were driving around New York, giving out books. We are doing the bingo card again this year for the kids, but we're also doing it for grown-ups. And so this is, and we also have a card for teens or tweens. So if you want to look at that, and we're doing it for adults. And the one for adults is really fun. It's just all different kinds of, you only have to, with the little kids, they had to fill it. With adults, they only have to do a row. Because it takes them a little longer. And the free space is to read anything. And it could be read a postcard. I mean, it could be that simple. So if you want to look at that.
If you're new to these, once we get everything finalized, we print them out in color and on cardstock, and they're just nice cards.
And what I would like to do for the little kids is, last year they got a prize for filling out each card. So this year, Crocs makes bracelets, and then with the holes in it for the gibbets.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not that, the bracelets aren't that expensive, and I spoke to Jeff from Happy Jacks, who said that he would donate gibbets.
Oh, nice.
So I think, and that kind of prize would work for both the little ones and the tweens.
Okay, yeah.
I think that they would love that.
You can always tell them by your, what do you call it, charm? That you put in it?
That's a gibbet.
Oh, they're actually called gibbets.
Yeah.
So, you're donating gibbets. What's the bracelet thing called?
That is
That's
a bracelet.
I think you told them.
I think
I gotta get with it.
I think maybe it's a band, a Crocs
Okay.
band, but it's definitely, you can see that it's a Croc product. It has the holes in it, and I just thought the kids would really like that.
So are we distributing the bracelet or are they buying that from Jeff?
I'm going to get the bracelet.
We're gonna get.
So what they would do, the first card they finish, they would get the bracelet and gibbets. And then if they should fill out a second card, then they get another gibbet. Or Jeff has his are on cards. And so there's like 2 or 3 gibbets on it because they're not that expensive. So they might, the kids might get a card instead.
And the kids love it. My grandkids try to see how many at one time they can do.
Right.
The apps.
They could wear their bathing suits, sit under the table and read to their dog
Yeah.
and their toy here, and that's 4 things. So that plan was to, anyone who finishes a row, their names will go in a hat and then there will be a prize at the end of the summer. And I just have to come up with what the prize is.
We were thinking about like an online gift card or a local merchant gift card.
For teens.
Yeah.
You must go to the
I'm just going with my interpretation of what you said.
Oh,
That to me.
That would be,
One of
This
the-
is great. I love the
yeah,
idea.
why don't you guys give the card to each of the restaurants here and say, we're going to do this, but we need a prize. Maybe each of them would donate a little
Yep.
something. Like
That's
if you
a
get
good
a
idea.
drink at one place, a dinner at the next, like do a round robin.
I think we go around.
Just for fun. It's a good idea.
I'm sorry, I missed the ice cream social. Do we have a date for that yet?
No.
No date.
This book came today.
Today, so,
Sarah
oh,
came in
okay.
today, we talked about it today, that's as far as,
Okay.
but I really love the idea.
That would be a lot of fun, especially.
I said to Sarah, really, you have to read a book that's over 100 years old? She said, it's good for them. Sometimes Sarah has to be the important.
We need at least one, right? Okay, so our next meeting is on May 22nd, and just a reminder, either when you get the agenda or when you get the financials, just to, email back that you'll be there, whether in person or Zoom, so that's okay. Either that or I'll be texting you again today, but no, it's just really helpful, because if we don't have a forum, then I may consider, canceling, because I don't want to waste everybody's time. So, I really appreciate it. So before you go, everybody grab a cup, and I'm gonna take a picture. Take one, that's down.
Do you need that one? Yeah, someone.
You're holding it
We'll
up.
share it, Jane.
I gotta get everybody in it.
To make us.
Thanks, Sarah. That's hilarious.
It's like a cheers type of thing.
Thank you.
There. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do it once this way too. Might- Okay, thank you. Enjoy. Have your coffee tomorrow morning and think of us.
We have to do it.
That's true. We have to adjourn. I hate to be the way down.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I second that motion.
Okay, I got it.
You got the motion in a second.
All right.
Thank you.
All in favor, right?
You can vote my stance.
Thank you so much. Hey, Dina.
Thanks, Jane.
Call me. Call me. Yeah. Bye, everybody. That was fun.
Did I pull it out of your computer?
I love it. Ending
Yeah,
in
I'll find
laughter.
Oh, I know it, I don't want to have.
Legs.
Katie had like.
Stepping over.
I'm trying to think what else is in Congress. You missed it all.
I just want to know what time.
Really?
Yes, right, exactly.
Okay, time.
Right by
That
the
we
line.
want.
Where the state fire police, like,
We went out.
No storm.
one of the-
I've seen one and this was.
But you